What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Roxette, as well as a very silly Luca down there. And we're continuing with Have a Nice Day, 1999, and the next track is I Was So Lucky, which is notably and observably in the past tense, suggesting that whoever and whatever this situation was, the person is no longer lucky, or at least not lucky to the same degree, but also there feels, at least on the surface, like a positive attitude in the phrase, the idea that you're looking back and being thankful or grateful that you were fortunate, that you did have a bit of serendipity at one time, even if that situation or those circumstances are no longer the case. So yes, and that of course could also be something that was known from that time right up into the present, or perhaps a perspective that has accrued over time where you maybe felt it was natural, or maybe you even focused on some of the negative aspects, but then once it's over, once you have a retrospective analysis, it seems like, you know what, I was so lucky that that did occur. So yes, there's a lot of possibilities, and certainly there's a suggestion of the passage of time and the changing of situations or conditions, but not necessarily any clear indication. I'll see what I can catch on a first listen. This is Roxette. The tune is I Was So Lucky, and it's from their 1999 album Have a Nice Day.
It's no secret I've been waiting, but I didn't expect this. Nothing will remain, nothing stays the same after you came. It's no secret I've been stalling, I never felt anything for years. I sat up all night just to watch your smile when you're sleeping. I was so lucky you came by and turned a different corner.
What a beautiful tune. Yes, so certainly not as electronic sounding or dance floor as some of the other tracks on the album. The arrangement, what a beautiful track. We have a lovely little light synth motif. We also have that saxophone. There was a moment where I thought, like, wait, is there also like an oboe? But I think it was just a sax. But also the strings and just the overall melodic atmosphere. Also, I think there was an acoustic guitar in there, so a very lush and beautiful arrangement and melodic progression. Marie's voice at the center of it, very beautiful as well, and some not big belts, but these like powerful extensions and the vibrato. And yes, it sounds different than I was thinking in advance. Not that things are bad now. It sounds like it's been good up into the present, but there was a critical point previously, and it almost sounds like even that was a continuation of a longer term story, that maybe the other person left, but then they came back and they didn't just pass her by. They didn't walk by, and it wasn't someone else who came around the corner. And I know turn the corner is to, maybe make a change and do something differently. But it sounds like whether the person had left and come back or just entered her life for the first time, that it could have been someone else, and maybe they wouldn't have made the connection. Maybe he would have just kept walking and her life would still be with rags and with trash, not silver and gold. So it sounds like she is living a very beautiful life with this other person, where she's sitting up at night and watching them sleep with a smile on their face, and there's this warm feeling in her heart. But she's aware there was a point where it might have not happened. It's, the contingent nature of history, including on an individual scale, where, again, maybe you miss a train and you end up meeting someone, and if you had gotten on the train, you wouldn't have met them, and maybe you'd meet someone else, and maybe that life would be worthwhile and interesting, but it wouldn't have been what happened if you didn't meet that person in that particular time, and things developed because of that circumstance. So it feels like she's saying she was so lucky, not because she's unlucky now, but because that moment happened the way it did, and it led to this flowering of emotion and a relationship and a connection that might not have been, or might have been different, or with somebody else. So it's like a sweeter rendering of the phrase than I was seeing on the surface of it in advance. So I think the sonics matched that sentiment very beautifully. Marie sounding great, great production from Paris, so a really good one from Roxette, and admittedly, the variety on this album, when it started, I wondered, like, wow, is this whole album going to be with heavier electronic sounds, more of a dance feeling? And there were some people saying that's kind of why this isn't their favorite album. And I know there's some people who say, the synth rock, like classic Roxette sound is the best. But I do also like their ballad, like heavier, maybe not heavier, but like slower and more emotive type of songs, which is, of course, a genre or a style that has happened previous to this album, no doubt. But I like that we do get some of that on this album, and there is some variety over the course of this record. So, enjoying it. This was a very good one. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.